Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Play Old World. I'm your host, Colors Fade. It's episode 1. I'm so excited to bring this game to the channel. I've been having a blast with it. So let's get started. We're going to start single player, new game, and I'm going to walk you through the choices and why I'm making them based off what I know right now about the game. We're going to choose Babylonia, and here's why. You can see all cities +1 research per turn. Like all 4X games, research is super important, and if you fall behind, then you fall behind your enemy's abilities. As far they end up with units like archers that can completely shoot down your warriors in a turn. So you want to be ahead. I have a rough guideline for what I think you should be doing for research, at least from my early attempts to play the game. So we're going to roll with this. Also, you could see what's really cool. I love this. You could see the stats. So you could see what they start with: trapping, administration, rhetoric, but you can see their wonders. So for instance, this is really cool. There you could see their shrines, I guess. Their unique improvements. They get archers to start with, which is fantastic. They also have a ton of damage. And so they start with 2 ranged attackers. Oh, that's great. You could see that their shrines are everybody gets like 4 shrines, but this is nice. The Shrine of Naboo output is an additional research per turn, which is really nice, and it gets a +1. This here is civics per turn for each adjacent Odeon, so that's really nice. The Shrine of Ishtar. I love it. You can hover over the icons and see what they are. So it gets growth. So that's one that you want to put down, and it gets +20% for adjacent pastures. I love that it has adjacency bonuses for things. This is one of the things I liked about Galactic Civilizations 3 is that when you colonized a new planet, some tiles had adjacency bonuses, and some buildings had adjacency bonuses. So it behooved you to arrange things in a certain geographic form to get the maximum bonuses. This is the Shrine of Ereshkigal. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. This is civics, is what this little thing is, or culture. Culture bar fills up a positive event occurs. You want to put this next to mountains and preferably a volcano if you can. And then this one, the Shrine of Marduk, it outputs that again. Civics, enables accolade, promotes barbarian. But this is the cool thing: it gets +1 orders per adjacent wonder. Very cool. So, and then down here they have the 4 different families, and I like this: the Amorite family, +1 research per turn per specialist. So the more specialists you have in the city, the more research it's going to make. So I like this as a starting one. Nation leader archetype. We're going to play on any what I call like the moderate map. You could do a simple setup, or you can do advanced. We're going to have 4 opponents, but it's not really going to be 4 opponents. It's actually a lot more than that, because it's all these little bands of tribes and things that are gonna make it difficult for you. Tribal strength weak, AI aggression. I put these on normal. AI advantage none. AI development fledgling. Existing nations start with an average of 2 cities and 2 technologies. Each existing nations don't start with any extra cities or technologies. That would be starting like you. So I'm going to do that. Points victory. Victory from acquiring the target number of victory points determined by the number of city sites on the map and the number of players or teams competing. Double victory. Victory from acquiring twice as many victory points as any other nation. I'm going to turn that off. This is what I really want to do, is just the ambition victory. Victory from completing 10 ambitions. And then there's a time. The most victory points at 200 turns. Actually, we'll turn that off. We'll turn that on so that if we get to 200 turns, the game can just end. I'm not sure what victory conditions I'm going to end up enjoying the most, because for me, the typical victory condition I like is to conquer the world. But in this kind of game, that's maybe not the best way to play. I think just establishing your nation and being the strongest would be good. So the seaside map is kind of nice. Map size medium. It'll tell you Medium recommended for 5 players. So we got four other enemies and us. Tribes, random, resource density, medium. You can turn on a whole bunch of other stuff, which is just really cool, and even mods. So I love this advanced setup. It's really nice. You can even give a map I believe you can give a map a seed. I have to check that again, but this has just been a lot of fun to play. I've been looking for something to kind of fill the gap left behind by me not playing Stellaris as much. So, you are Nebuchadnezzar, the wisest king of Babylonia. The myths of your people claim that you are a descendant from a distant line of kings, but your people are broken and battered from disasters. Finally taking your birthright, it falls on you to lead the people of Babylonia into the old world, to forge a nation of knowledge and glory, one that will be remembered through the ages. The existing civilizations of the old world do not yet know the splendor and wisdom of Babylonia, but they will learn. Select your settler and found your capital city. Alright. So, these are your potential city sites. So we're just going to start right on the set. This is, what is this? Resource salt. I might start over here then. I'm going to move my settler 1 over. You can get all of this. And then I'm going to found it with our research ones. So the Amorite sages. Babylonia discovers a new technology, the military drill. Order. So you can leave the tutorials on or off. I'm going to leave them on since this is probably the first time a lot of you are seeing this game. Orders are an important feature of old world. Units can move multiple times each turn, but each move consumes 1 order. I really like this system. Some people are still undecided about it, but I really like it. It's no longer just a matter of you having as many units as you want and moving them all the time. You're constrained by this global resource of orders that you want to try to maximize and improve. I like it a lot. Your remaining orders can be seen in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. Remember that you first select your worker so you may begin to improve your land before you spend all your orders for a turn. This is the other thing that's really important, is since you're going to run up against the order cap, it's going to be really important who you move first each turn. So when it's in the middle of a war, you want to make sure that you move your soldiers and attack first before you move less important things like scouts and stuff like that. So I just like it. It's a very cool system. I like it a lot. So let's grab our worker. There's a tutorial for your governor. A city governor can be recruited from your screen by clicking on the wreath icon below the city banner or within the city screen. A governor can boost the yields of a city based on their unique traits. And this is the other cool thing. So shrine, I'm going to pick that right away. Output +1 research per year. It's like Stellaris, I was saying in the intro video, in that you're given 4 choices to research each turn. Those, I think that can be improved to like 5, but they're randomized. You can look at the tree at any point in time, but the choices that you get each turn are random. And there is the ability, if you get a particular citizen later on leveled up high enough, to pull a new hand of cards. So here's our worker, and we have lots of choices here. So you're gonna hear like when the music in the game comes back, it has a tendency to cut out like this and not play for a little bit. You're gonna hear things coming in and out, and that's just me pressing the pause button and doing a little research, and then coming back and unpausing it. It's gonna be instantaneous for you. It might be a little jarring. I hope not, but that's gonna happen. So the first thing we notice up here on the screen is that we're short on food, the rate of food. We have 300 and we're losing 1 each turn because of our people. So it's like you need to build that. You're going to need to build a query or more queries. You're going to be building constantly. So the first thing I want to do is start getting some food built. This is temperate flat land. It's a good choice for a farm. Oh, he started building right there. I should have moved him first. This will work. It's not exactly what I wanted him to do. So he's building. You can rename units. I love this. I love that you can name everything if you want to. You've got your scout. So your scouts can do things like harvest resources and scout things. which is really nice. Next unit. So this is what? This is a settler. Oh, okay. Well, I need to find another site. So where are we at on the map? Right here. There's a lot. Okay. I'm going to move this settler over here. We get to start with the settler? That's cool. Oh, no. Who is this? No, this is a scout. Okay, there's 2 scouts. Harvest resource. Let's move on to some honey. You can harvest that. There's all of these things going on over here. So he can't quite get there. If they're in, you can see this little icon here. They're hidden. If they're in timber, they're hidden, and enemies can't see them and shoot at them. So that's very, very nice. Now we've used up all our orders, so just hit the space bar, and then you're done with those guys. And end the first year. Prince Kayasha is now old enough to be tutored by courtiers. Okay. And then, of course, there are tons of events, which is kind of more reminiscent of Crusader Kings, which I kind of like. The court is open debate on the topic of cultural enrichment, and we are of 2 minds on the matter. We can invest in a national epics, or we can rely on exploration to bring us new experiences. What shall we decree? Let us share our own stories. We start. This is civics. So you spend 400 civics, epics, law, all units, plus 10 culture per military unit killed in the near city. Hero opinion plus 10. The world has many tales to tell. Start. We will not. I'm not going to decide on those right now. So now she can study. And I want her to study philosophy so that when she takes over, she can have more research. But again, that's like Crusader Kings, if you ever watched me play that game. And I haven't put a lot of it on the channel, but I really like Crusader Kings in that you can choose a focus for you and for your children. And if you anticipate a lot of wars coming up, you can kind of focus on that area, or you can focus on bringing in gold, or, you know, there are different things. So I like that. Slingers. Okay, so I want to go to my city because what I want to do is make sure I have a governor, and we don't have one. So us, King Nebuchadnezzar, you can see we get plus 0.4 research, and in fact, you can see here if we choose him, plus 20% science. I call it research, but it's science. And if we choose this other guy, it's plus 6%. So we're going to choose us. We're going to make ourselves a governor right away. Gift Babylon to another player. I don't think so. So this is our slinger. And we're not going to do anything with our slingers right now. You can add generals and you can promote them. And we'll be doing that. Promotion uses up your training up here. We're not going to be promoting them right this second, though. We're just going to put them to sentry and let them go to sleep. And if enemies get close, then they'll do something with it. Explorers uncover numerous shafts in the desert hillside. Their entrances covered by past landslides. Emeralds litter the dark passages, suggesting that this site was once a thriving mine. Your scout wishes to continue excavating to find more valuables, but such actions could cause the mine to collapse. We must reopen the mine. But King Nebuchadnezzar, the founder, could lead to future events. But we don't have the cash to make that happen, so we have to leave it alone. So we grabbed that before it was really appropriate for us to do. We can grab these resources. And that gave us some stuff. So now I'm wary of grabbing that shrine too early, but let's do it. Oh yeah, so we can't spend the money on this either, a long abandoned structure. Sadly, our treasury cannot bear the experience of the moment. Your scouts stumble across an ancient, long abandoned structure that appears to have once been the village surrounding a mine. Upon investigation, your wise men inform you that the substance mined there was kaolite, and that the vein has not yet been exhausted. Oh, so nothing we can do. But there's a city-state here. So that's cool. And you get to name things. Vale of Tempe. So there's a city site right there. That would be useful to us. I wish I hadn't grabbed that now. But oh well. He can grab these horses. Oh, he can't do anything right this turn though because we're out of orders. An assignment. A letter arrives by courier from Princess Kashaya at the Academy. Dear Nebuchadnezzar, as part of my instruction at the Academy, tutors have directed me to write to you. All has been going well, and I have little to complain of. I miss Mother at times, but I must carry on. She is a student. So, okay, so tooltips, yeah, which are really nice. You can just press the middle mouse button, and it'll keep the tooltip there. Harvest the horses. But what we want to do is assign tutor her. So you'll have different options for tutoring, but right now our only option is this. We got a 25% chance to improve her wisdom. And that'll give her more research. We got 14% to improve her charisma, 14.9% to improve her courage and her discipline, and then 29.8% for a tutor event. It costs 2 orders. So we're going to do that. Alright, and then what's this? Next unit. Hey, more horses. Once you get so far away from a closest city, then you can't harvest resources anymore. So, and you kind of want to try to end in legitimacy. You kind of want to end in a forest if you can, so you're hidden. Legitimacy comes from achieving ambitions and acquiring better cognomens, such as, these are titles basically, such as the Great. Legitimacy from your titles of previous leaders decays each time a new leader takes control. Higher legitimacy improves family opinion and produces more orders per turn. So more orders. So that's great. There's a city side over here. Ooh, and there's some gems here. Fun. Okay. Rural yields are food, iron, stone, and wood. Those are your main resources. Yep. So you want to... and forestry tech enables construction of lumber mills and trees, but you don't get that to start off with. So all you can do to get trees is to cut them down, but you don't want to clear the land because that'll make the trees not grow back. So we'll build farms in mind. So he built us a farm, and now we have some food, and now we need stone. So we need a quarry somewhere. And you can see, it'll tell you, like here, if you hover over this, it says build a mine. Potential bonuses, plus 60% from you're on a hill, plus 10% for adjacent mine, plus 100% for adjacent mill class improvement. Up here, so let's see, and what's it say? Build a farm there. You need hills to build. See, what's it say? Owner, Babylon, resource, salt, mine is recommended. I really need a quarry though. I really need a quarry. Mine recommended, farm recommended. That requires a pasture. Do I have anywhere that's really recommended for a quarry? Mine. I don't. Let's go here. Quarry requires what? Requires lush, temperate, arid, adjacent to a mountain, adjacent to volcano, or marble. Mountain or volcano or marble. Okay. Well, then let's build a mine, and then we'll try to move him somewhere. This may not be the best place for quarries at all. So we may need to get down here. Resource gems. Or over here. This might not be too bad. There's a bunch of mountains here. So we're going to have to... And we're building a settler, which is great. So we're going to have one in another turn, really. Plus 2 legitimacy for finding the Tagus River. We can harvest these gems, which is great. We can harvest this ore. And then these guys here, how many orders do we have? 4 left. Gonna get them into some cover. Nation contact. You have encountered a rival nation. Persia. At some difficulty levels, other nations begin the game already established with a number of cities, units, and improvements. If you hover the mouse over Persia's name in the leaderboard at the top left of the screen, you can find out how important information about them, such as the number of cities they have. So we could see them, and it says Persia, truce. They're angry with us. The power is similar, the knowledge is naive. So we can go here, and we can say influence. King Nebuchadnezzar the founder, you governor of Babylon. We can try to influence him, and that'll make him generally happier with us if it works. But it says this mission is already active because I'm tutoring my child, so I need 2 years before I can do that. So I'm on a mission. Now I can have somebody else do it, but yep, found your second city. In her philosophical studies, Kashaya has been working under a tutor who is applying the Babylonian study of astronomy to philosophy, developing a theory about the ideal nature of the early universe. The applications of this could completely shift the understanding of the patterns of the celestial bodies, although some are resistant to changes. Bring this philosopher to the court. Encourage her in her studies, and she gains +1 wisdom and a global +2 research. I'm going to do that. I'd like to bring the scientist to court, but I'm going to do this. So you can see it went from 19 to 21, which is great. So now we have these guys. And it's a matter of, do we want to put them here and try to get some what is this? Flatland, clear, these are lush hill, clear, next to mountains. I'm going to do this. Okay, and they went as far as they could go. They're exhausted. They've only got 3 pips up here. So they went as far as they could go. We still have 9 orders. So I think maybe the wise thing to do is go in this direction. Ooh, what's this? Harvest citrus. Nice. Harvest wine. Heck yeah. Okay. Divination is 1 year away. So these guys are over here. This is Persia. We can harvest these, the game. I have 1 more. Can harvest these elephants. Oh, nope. Consumes -1 orders. We don't have any more. Choose production. So forum becomes a permanent improvement. These are repeatables, which can do things. I'm going to add this because it's going to add +1 to our research, to our science. But then I want to get another settler going. King Nebuchadnezzar has tutored, improving her charisma. Oh, so we didn't get a research. We improved her charisma instead. So Fort Quarry enables stonecutter. This is what we want. And yeah, nice. Okay, you guys are gonna grab this. Now we got to choose our families. So found a city. Family seat +4 legitimacy. If we discontent, always bad. So you can see that every family has their own benefits and drawbacks. For instance, the Ison seat can add multiple roads per year, -10 upgrade years for hamlet improvements, +20 gold per year per bullion resource, unlocks the caravan. On seat founded a new courtier, the court merchant shows up. Opinion bonus from distant cities. Character tendencies, you could see all this different stuff that has to do with it. And if we diversify, you can have a max of 3 families. And if we diversify, you can see that it gives us +4 legitimacy. If we choose the same city that we founded with, we get discontent, and we don't get that bonus to legitimacy. So this family up here is going to give us this culture, +4 culture per year. And they get +80 opinion for 20 years. Mines and lumber mills. plus 20% output. Minus 2 years to build urban improvements. And on seat founding, we gain a worker. These guys, plus 2 military per year. New range units start with Sentinel. Camps and nets, net 100% output. Unlocks the hunt. I like that, and I want to have those guys in my empire for the bonus to military. But what I really want right here is this, I think. Mines and lumber mills, plus 20% output. I do want to diversify. I want the plus 4 culture per year. I think this is we're gonna build a lot of mines around here. Probably more around where we were gonna be. But I think we might, yeah. Let's found these guys right here. Because these are the other ones. I don't think this is going to be as useful, is my guess. So let's do this. You are now known as the settler. Cities produce the following yields: growth, training, civics, money, science, culture, and discontent. Growth, training, and civics are all used for city production. Growth for civilian units, training for military units, and civics for projects and specialists. When not being used for city production, training and civics go to the global stockpile, and growth goes into the production of a new citizen. Culture and discontent both go into the respective progress bars. When the culture bar fills, a positive event occurs, and new improvements and wonders are unlocked. When the discontent bar fills, maintenance goes up, and the growth and science go down. Money and science both go directly into the global stockpile. So now we know a little bit about our yields. And this gets us a worker who right away... So our shrines are available. They cost a certain amount of things to do. You can have one per nation for each shrine. So you want to place them in specific places. For instance, the Shrine of Naboo is going to give us our research. And it's going to get plus 1 of these. Plus 1 civics per adjacent Odeon. So you kind of want to, like, surround it by Odeons. The Shrine of Ishtar is going to give you plus 2 growth per year. Spreads paganism, enables the acolyte. Plus 20% for adjacent pastures. I think we're going to get a lot of pastures down here. Look, you could probably put pastures in all these flat spots here. So, and same thing over here. Like, let's build the Shrine of Marduk. Urban improvement, build any more adjacent winter. I don't want to build that one there. I'd rather, I mean, there's going to be a ton of pastures over there. And same thing here, I think. So, I think this might be a good spot to build this, actually. Shrine of Ishtar, plus 20% for adjacent pastures. And then this one, you want to put next to at least mountains or volcanoes. So, I'm going to have her build this right here. Yep, right where she's at. Yep, start building. But then we got to get her to start building quarries, because we're going to run out of stone soon. Alright. You. Oh, and we found our first group of barbarians. So. Got some legitimacy from the Marne River. Oh. And there's harvest game. Great. Okay. So, I want to do a little bit more exploring. This guy, I might want to start exploring northward from where I'm at with him and figure out what's up there. So, Dilbat has to choose some production. I'd like to get a couple more workers going in different places, but I really want that research, so I'm going to grab a forum first. 5 years for a worker and then a forum. Let's do that. Let's get a couple workers going. We need a worker in our other city too. This will give you a tutorial on the tech deck. Upon completing research for a new technology, you will unlock the next technology on the tree, entering it into the discard pile. And 4 new cards will be drawn. Free unit and bonus cards are never recycled and are instead permanently discarded if not chosen. So you do get some free things from that. I mean, you get a choice to choose some free things, which is pretty cool. Astronomy has been practiced in Babylonia since the days of your ancestors. Princess Kashaya has been studying the stars and comes to you in excitement, claiming to have predicted a rare eclipse of the sun. This doesn't align with the existing calendars, and once your scholars check, they find an error in the current calendar system. It would take longer due to her inexperience, but allowing Kashaya to oversee the reforms could be a good chance for her to take responsibility. Allow the reforms, stepping in if things go too slowly. Alright. Cool. Praise her work. Will the scholars take over? No. She found an error. She gets to do it. You have unlocked the ability to choose an ambition. Ambitions are goals that your families would like for you to pursue, and completing them will grant you and all your descendants a permanent boost to legitimacy. Completing an ambition unlocks a new one, and completing 10 is one way to win via ambition victory. So always do your best to fulfill your current ambitions. Alright. Control 4 cities or kill 5 enemy units. We'll control 4 cities. That's a reasonable one. I like that. Alright. The Barbarians at the gate. I just want to move that guy and leave him there. In fact, I'm just going to sentry him for now. This guy, on the other hand. Oh, and that's within our borders, so we can't harvest anymore. We can reharvest this one. There are time limits on those things, and then you can reharvest them. So he's ran out. We're down to 7 orders. Very fun. Babylonia founded. Babylonia paganism, because we built our thing. We get an achievement for that. Pagan religions are founded by building your first shrine, and they spread by building more shrines. They have no disciples, theologies, or access to special religious improvements, but improving their religion opinion will reduce discontent in cities with the religion. Paganism can be adopted as a state religion if you enact divine rule. A specialist can be recruited from the city screen by clicking the plus button on an improvement, so long as you have an available citizen. Although improvements are already productive on their own, a specialist can boost their yields. Luxuries are special resources that you can acquire by adding a rural specialist to an improvement on the correct tile. For example, you access gems by adding a miner specialist to a mine improvement on a gem tile. Urban specialists like acolytes and officers can be trained in higher levels for further yield boosts. So we have this worker here. So if we go to Babylonia, see that we have 1 citizen. So we can make a miner or a farmer. I would rather make a miner on one of these things. We should be able to get salt resources. So let's take a look at our worker here. I'm not going to build a shrine. What's this going to get me? This will give me a mine, plus 2 output per year. These are the same kinds of sites, right? Yeah. So it's going to get you a little bit of this culture, plus 20 gold per year. Output from salt. Enables a miner, adds luxury salt. So we can get a luxury for salt, which would be really good. So let's do that. Let's build a mine, and then we'll use our 1 citizen. When he gets done in 3 years building that, we'll use our citizen to get that resource. And this is going to build a forum in a year, and then we can build another worker. That would be important. Alright, so this worker built the shrine. Yep. Shrine of Ishtar. Yep. So adjacent pastures. Now, darling, what we really need is... This is going to recommend a mine here, but we need some quarries. Can you build a quarry yet? Requires stone cutting. We don't have it. That's why. Okay. We're waiting for it to get finished. It gets finished in 1 more year. Now, I want to look at the research tree for something. So what I wanted to look at for in this research is right here. You can see the pasture is through ironworking, which we have to get. We're doing stone cutting right now. You get the pasture. It enables the rancher, plus 20 for adjacent farms. So if we go here and look, this thing right here has adjacent pastures, and we would like to just surround it in pastures. But that means the pasture is going to get bonuses for adjacent farms. So we could put a farm like right there. So I think that's a good plan. This guy, Let's see. Let's keep exploring. We know that these homies are here. We'd like to go take them. Can we get this? Harvest that ore. There's some horses right there. We're going to move these guys. Queen Consort Amidus, your wife, has converted to Babylonian paganism. Yay. So you can get a stone boost as a one-time deal. Redraw text from your deck. You can only do once per year. Music. This will give you the Odeon, which gives you culture. Starts music. Starts the music. That's funny. So you can't have music in the game until you actually do this. That's funny. Yeah, I want to redraw because I want that stone cutting option. Yeah, ironworking. That's what I wanted. Ironworking. This also gives you... Yeah, that's the one I want. Okay. I do want music eventually. It's funny that they don't have the music running until you get music as a culture. That's actually kind of cool. It's kind of immersive. But it is making me chuckle a little bit. Harvest the citrus. We're going to go see who all else is out here. There's horses that we can harvest. Oh, look. Unit fatigue. Yeah. So they're fatigued. You can force march them, but it costs something. I wasn't paying attention. I just don't do it. Okay. So we're back here. The forum has been completed, and we really need like one more worker. So let's do worker. We're at 23 research, which is pretty good. Princess Kashaya has been sneaking off into the wild after class each day, growing ever more inspired by nature. What advice should we give this budding naturalist? So she becomes exploring. She's no longer a philosophy student. Cannot marry, cannot have children. Oh, no. Guard your kin as a mother wolf guards her pups. She becomes loyal. She gains +2 discipline. Okay, or no love is as pure as that of beast for her kin. She becomes romantic. That gives her charisma. Oh, wow. Loyal. Okay, I'm going to give her charisma. Let's go. Because she got a bonus to charisma earlier, so let's do that. Over horses that way. What else is over here? Oh, look. Let's take care of that next turn. We want to make sure we have enough money. That way, if there's anything really cool in there. Queen Consort Amidus the Younger. Your wife is now head of Babylonian paganism. Wow, that was a quick ascension. 2 years. Never gets around to doing anything. She is slothful. As a governor, that's going to give her -20 to military training, which is no good. Princess Kashaya has grown more confident and charming. She's gained yet another charisma. Very good for her. And Duke Marduk Nandea is now old enough to be tutored by courtiers. Okay, so our Duke is old enough to be tutored. Cash has returned from her philosophy studies. Cash me outside. But she would like to retain a tutor for additional training. What shall be the focus of her continuing education? How to spread knowledge to others. Oh, right here, wisdom. How to turn inward for self-discovery. More research. Eloped. By the time you hear the news, the young couple has already fled the city. Overwhelmed with passion, your daughter Cash has eloped with her beloved. The two have a significant head start. That is, if you plan to pursue them. Ooh, let the levels form joyful destiny together. What's that options? She becomes eloped. What happens with that? Eloped. Excluded from secession. No, we went to all that effort to train her. No. Oh, no. I don't want... claim the wedding was planned to save face. King Nebuchadnezzar the settler becomes intelligent. As a governor, you gain research. That's great. All cities +1. Princess Cash becomes eloped. She's still excluded from succession, but we gain bonuses. Okay. I want the research bonuses, so I'm going to do that. Send the soldiers back. requires King Nebuchadnezzar to be disciplined, which I'm not. So, okay, well, I'm definitely saving face and taking the research. I went to all that effort to train her. Oh, time passes. Well, since the first child failed, the first time I played the game, that didn't happen. That didn't come up. That's really cool. It's sad, but it's really cool. She loads. He'll study philosophy. I have to have someone to take over the research for this family. I have to push this. So we went from 25 to 22. So my general thought as I go into this game further with the first game that I played was I wanted the research to be at least greater than or equal to the year I was on. So at one point in time I was like in year 55 and I was trying to get my research to match that. I don't know if that's going to be a good barometer going through the game, but it might be. So we're going to play it out and see. So next unit. So here's a worker. Shows up. Great. Okay, so we want to put Odeons, or we want to put pastures around this, but she can build a farm right there. Oh, but did we get our research? Can she build a quarry yet? Show rural improvements. Quarry. Cannot build an hermit tiles, but can she build it there? Yes, because we finished the tech. Great. And so you can see +9 per year, plus 40% output from adjacent mountain, plus 40% output from adjacent mountain. That's great. Awesome. Awesome. Yes, I love adjacency bonuses. They make me happy. So she's going to get started on that. That's great. So this place is idle. And I'm going to choose, let's see. I'd like to, well, a settler. How long would it take to do a settler? Too long, probably 7 years. Militia, they're kind of weak. Slingers, they're pretty good. Arcadian archer, 15 years, requires developing culture and a stronghold. So all we really have right now is slingers until we get some better ones. I think I'm going to go for the forum then and get the research. We have one citizen, so... Oh, we could have done apprentice acolyte to give you +2 for year. That's what I should have done. Cancel this. Go with apprentice acolyte and use the first citizen. Yes. Do that. Next unit. Tell me what we have here. Scavenging through the ruins, we find significant amounts of stone, iron, and wood. However, local raiders could reach the ruins by nightfall. We can't fight them off, but we can carry some of the loot back home. Which of the 3 would you like to bring back? Oh, that's easy. The thing we're shortest on up here is stone. So stone for construction. And there's one little tiny city slot there. I kind of want to go further this direction and see what's up with the mountains. Ooh. Oh, and there's barbarians at the gate right there. Okay. There's a city set here. I know you can undo moves if you want to. I'm going to leave him right there. Next unit. You've met your first tribe, the Vandals. By the way, that's where I went to college. Idaho Vandals. Tribes can engage in limited diplomacy, but generally won't be coordinated in the way opposing nations are. You may also find barbarians exploring the map. They do not behave like tribes, as you are always at war with them. Barbarians are good targets for early expansion. Okay, so we found the Vandals. We can harvest the lavender. So I'm going to go over here and harvest this lavender too. And I'm going to see what's going on with this. Now, scouts report discovering a strange sculpture amidst these ruins. While it is unlike any art produced in Babylonia, it holds a strange beauty. What should be done with it? It should inspire us. Display it in Babylonia. It gets us +30 culture. Starts the ambition control 5 developing cities. Or we just get some cash. Oh no, I want this. And I want to start that ambition. Yes. Excellent. I like that ambition. Okay, cool. I'm going to save the game real quick. Alright, so I just went through and saved it. Alright, I'm really enjoying this game. Crazy how much I'm enjoying it. And we're 44 minutes into this episode, and I think that's kind of where I want to keep these. Is it about that size, not a full hour? like I normally do on some of my other stuff. So we're going to terminate this right here. First episode. I'm excited. I hope you all are too. I think this is a really cool game. I'm gonna spend the last 5 minutes of this video here just talking about this, because I think 4X games are a huge part of what I love about gaming, civilization style games. I'm really interested in this game because you could see it basically ends at 200 years if you have that victory condition turned on. But my understanding of the game, again, my limited knowledge, is that it's called Old World. It's like Civilization, but only the beginning of it. If you remember, at least this is the way Civ 2 worked when I was playing it, is you could go all the way up from old ancient times until the space race. And in fact, that was one of the victory conditions, was whoever got to space first. I believe all versions of Civilization still do that. I think Civ 5 and Civ 6 still do that, but I could be wrong. Old World, the developer of Old World, by the way, worked on Civ 3 and Civ 4. The main person, I understand. And I think they understood that it's those early years when you're running around with archers and tyramaes and things like that. That was kind of like the most fun part of it, instead of getting to the era when you had planes and Gatling guns and all that kind of stuff. So I like that the focus is on the early period, and I like that it goes 1 year at a time for each turn. I'm curious to see if the DLCs that are going to come out are going to expand on that to where a game can take like 3 or 4 or 500 turns, where they advance the timeline a little bit more. I know that the DLCs are going to deal with scenarios. There are a lot of scenarios that you can play out in this game. I'm just doing more of the freeform sandbox mode because that's what I love, but I do want to play the scenarios, so we will be doing that on this channel too. So this is where I'm going to leave it. I just think it's a really fun game. I think it's one of the best versions, if not the best version of Civilization that I've played so far. Now, I have experienced some bugs, and we'll get to those. I experienced some bugs with my other game, but remember, this isn't officially out yet. And when it does release, the very first DLC, Heroes of the Aegean, is going to come out the same day it launches. And for the first 2 weeks, anybody who claims that gets that DLC for free. So 2-week window there, free DLC when the game launches. I really like that. I think that's really cool. So I'm excited. I'll see you all on the next episode. As always, if you dig it, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave questions and comments down below. It helps the algorithm. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, put it on Reddit, share it, let everybody know. Come here. I'm going to be doing Let's Play Old World. I'll see you next time.